Hey there, everyone. If you are new here, let me take just a moment to introduce myself. My name is Mr. Stu. I'm a child and family therapist with over 15 years of professional mental health experience, and I am in Louisville, Kentucky. If you've been watching the news, you know that a horrible tragedy of a mass shooting took place in our amazing city, which, as of the recording of this video, was yesterday, Monday, April 10th. Since then, my personal inbox and the Mr. Stu TV inbox has been pretty flooded with messages from parents and teachers asking how to discuss this tragedy with children. It can be so hard to find the words, especially when you feel like you can't even find the words to think about it yourself or to talk to friends about it. How in the world do we talk to children? So I wanted to take just a few minutes today to talk about how to explain tragedies to children, how to be there in a supportive way without overwhelming children, and providing enough detail so that they don't fill in all the blanks on their own, because when they do that, it's likely they'll come up with something even more horrific than what took place. The first thing to do is explain the tragedy. And it needs to be explained at a level that is appropriate for your child's development. For very young children, it can be just one or two very generic sentences. For older children, you can go into a bit more detail. But the important thing to remember here is that this is not the time to discuss policies and politics with your child. It's a time to support them emotionally. While you may want to talk to them about policies and politics at some point, right now, this mental health first aid conversation is about ensuring that your child is just emotionally okay, that they understand what happened, and that they feel as if they are still a safe person, that they are still safe and secure, even though these difficult, horrible things happen. With young children, you can even use a few sentences like this. Something bad happened yesterday in Louisville. Some people were hurt and some of them died. Now, when you say that, it is likely that your child will have other questions about what happened, how it happened, why it happened. And in that moment, that's where you can start to let your child lead. The same is true for older children. You might be able to tell an older child, someone decided to take a gun and kill some people. And in those moments, when you explain that to your child, when you start just those few sentences, now it's time to allow them to lead the conversation. Having conversations like this with children, it's not about trying to flood them with information. It's about allowing them to take the reins and guide you and guide this conversation where they need it to go. For some children, it lands on the why. Why would this happen? For other children, they want to know the specifics of what happened. For other children, they want to know how it happened. For some children, they want to know where specifically it happened so that they can talk about distance and how far they are and all those types of things. Each child needs something different. As a parent, as a teacher, as someone who is helping to raise children, when you start these conversations, it's important that you start the conversation and then allow your child to lead the conversation wherever it may need to go for their emotional support. Let the child lead. Explain in a developmentally appropriate way, and then let them lead where it needs to go. As they're leading, you can help children to express their feelings, whatever those feelings may be. It could be that those feelings don't seem to match what you think their feelings should be. Maybe after you explain this to them, they just tell you that they're ready to go back and play with some of their Pokemon cards. And if that's the case, you can let them know that if they decide they want to talk about it more, you are there and you are a safe person to talk to no matter how it is they're feeling. It could be that they're feeling very scared. If that's the case, validate that emotion. Let them know that it's okay to feel that way. And in those times when they feel scared, you are there to keep them safe and secure. Let them know that it's okay to be afraid, but that you are there to keep them safe. Let them know that it's normal to go through all sorts of emotions at a time like this. It's normal to feel sad because some people got hurt, some people died. It's okay to feel angry that someone would decide to go in somewhere and harm some people for reasons that we don't even understand. It's okay to feel scared because this seemed to happen out of nowhere. It's okay to feel confused because there's a lot of questions we might not ever know the answers to. Let them know it's okay to feel however it is they're feeling, and try to not minimize their feelings. If they say that they're scared, try to not say, oh, well, you don't need to be scared. You don't need to say that. You can just look at them and say, yeah, it can be kind of scary when things like this happen. Tell me some of the things that scare you about this. Now they're leading again. Now they are the ones. I understand that you're angry. Tell me what makes you feel angry. I understand you're confused. Tell me what you're confused about. Maybe we can work on that together. You want to empathize with their feelings and try to not minimize them. You also want to try to not tell them how they should feel, not ask them, well, are you scared about this? Oh, isn't that sad? You don't need to guide them into their feelings. Let them feel however it is they're feeling, and then allow them to express it. And it really could be that, especially with very young children, they don't fully understand. It is not your job to raise them to a level that they are not prepared for, to understand this tragedy, and to feel what you feel are the correct feelings about it. If you explain this to your child, if you tell them about it in a developmentally appropriate way, and then they're done talking about it, that's also okay. It could be that some children are not as affected by the thoughts and the stories of this tragedy as other children will be. Your child is unique, and so allow them to express however it is they may be feeling, even if those feelings don't make a whole lot of sense to you. There may also come some times where you would need to reroute the conversation. If your child begins spiraling and it does seem like they're becoming overwhelmed by some of the emotions, it's okay to let them know, hey, let's take a break because it seems like this is a pretty big conversation. Let's go do something fun and then we'll talk about it a little bit more. That way, you're not allowing your child to become overwhelmed by the topic, overwhelmed by their emotions, but you're also letting them know that you're not sidestepping the conversation. You're just going to help them re-regulate so that you can then reapproach the conversation. It's okay to take those breaks if you can tell that yourself or your child are becoming overwhelmed by the topic. You also need to make sure that you're providing comfort and support throughout the whole process. If your child has more questions, do your best to answer those questions or ask them what they think the answers to those questions might be. It's also important, different children receive support and nurturing in different ways. So it could be that you can tell your child needs a hug. In that moment, it's okay to pause and give them a hug. It could be that your child needs a joke. It's okay in that moment to pause and give your child a joke. Comfort and support looks different to every child, but when you're discussing a difficult topic, it's just important that you are there to offer it. There may also come a time where you feel like your child needs some professional help. If there are times where your child is frequently crying, if they have difficulty sleeping, if they stop eating as much or start eating way more, if they become more aggressive, or if they just withdraw and they don't want to interact with people, it may be best to reach out to a professional like a therapist for help. There's no shame in that whatsoever. And in those moments, your child can learn some more skills about resilience and understanding their emotions so that they can feel and express those things in ways that are appropriate and positive. Tragedy is never easy to talk about, especially with children. But with your guidance and your support, and if you will let them lead the conversation, if you can start the conversation and then allow them to lead it, they can learn to cope with their emotions in healthy ways. Make sure you allow them to lead, and always leave with the caveat of, if you feel like you need to talk about this more, just let me know, because I am always here to talk whenever you need it. If you'll do that, then children will feel supported, comforted, secure, and safe, and they can learn that no matter how it is they're feeling, it's okay to feel however they feel. They get to choose how to respond. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any specific questions, or if your child asks a question that maybe you don't know how to answer, or they say something or try to lead the conversation in a direction that you're not sure how to let them lead it there, please feel free to reach out to Mr. Stu TV on social media, and we will do our best to follow up with more videos like this answering some of your questions. Thanks again for watching. I hope that this video has been helpful, and please always feel comfortable to reach out for help and support. Until next time, spread the word and share the love. Bye-bye.